Men. When a woman is hiding something significant, her behavior changes in predictable, observable ways. Today, I'll reveal the 6 red flags that universally appear when women are hiding something significant, explain the psychology behind why these specific behaviors emerge during concealment, and show you how to distinguish between normal privacy and active deception designed to keep you in the dark about something that affects you directly. Before we start, hit the hype button, subscribe, and drop a comment if your gut has ever told you something was wrong, but you talked yourself out of investigating. And drop your city or country below. Let's see where this message reaches. Red flag 1. Defensive overreaction to simple questions. You ask a basic, innocent question about her day, her plans, or something routine. Instead of a straightforward answer, you get immediate defensiveness, anger, or accusations. Why are you interrogating me? Or don't you trust me? Or why do you need to know everything? The reaction is disproportionate to the question asked, which reveals the question touched something she's actively protecting. Why this signals hiding? When someone has nothing to hide, simple questions get simple answers. Where were you? Gets at Sarah's house, or running errands. When someone is hiding something, that same simple question triggers defensive panic because she's worried the answer will either be a lie. You'll verify or lead to follow-up questions that expose inconsistencies in her cover story. The psychology behind it. Defensive overreaction stems from what psychologists call guilty knowledge. The cognitive burden of maintaining a secret creates hypervigilance about questions that might expose it. Every question becomes a potential threat to her carefully constructed narrative. Rather than answer casually, she goes on the offensive to shut down your inquiry and make you feel guilty for asking, which trains you to stop asking questions altogether. This defensive response also serves as misdirection. By making your question the problem rather than her answer, she shifts focus from what she's hiding to your supposed trust issues or controlling behavior. If she can make you defend your right to ask basic questions, she never has to provide answers that might reveal what she's concealing. Real-life example. You ask casually, "How was your evening?" She snaps back, "Why? You don't believe I was where I said I was? You need a minute-by-minute account of my time. This is exhausting." The response is hostile and immediate. A person with nothing to hide would simply describe their evening. The defensive overreaction reveals that the question threatens to expose something, so she attacks the question itself rather than answer it. You might ask, "Who are you texting?" A question that in a transparent relationship gets answered easily. Instead, "Oh my God, are you monitoring my phone now? Can I not have any privacy? You're being paranoid." Notice she didn't answer the question. She attacked you for asking it, which is a deflection technique that keeps you focused on defending yourself rather than getting an answer. What to watch for? Pay attention to the pattern, not individual incidents. If simple questions consistently trigger defensive hostility, especially questions that should have straightforward answers, she's protecting something. Innocent people answer questions directly. Guilty people attack the questioner, deflect with counter-accusations, or make you feel wrong for asking at all. Red flag at the Sant 2. Sudden changes in phone and technology habits. Her relationship with her phone and devices changes dramatically. Previously casual phone habits become obsessive and secretive. She starts taking her phone everywhere, including the bathroom. She angles screens away from you. She enables new passcodes. She clears notifications immediately. She gets anxious when you're near her phone. These changes indicate the phone has become the primary tool for whatever she's hiding. Why this signals hiding? Phones are where modern secrets live. Messages, photos, call logs, app notifications, emails, social media interactions. When someone suddenly locks down their phone security, It's because the phone now contains evidence of something they can't let you see. The level of protection is proportional to the significance of what's being hidden. The psychology behind it, phone obsession during concealment, reflects the constant fear of discovery, combined with the need for frequent contact with whatever or whoever she's hiding. She needs the phone close to maintain the secret relationship or activity, but that same proximity creates risk of you seeing something incriminating. This creates hypervigilance, constantly monitoring the phone's location and your proximity to it. The security changes aren't about establishing healthy boundaries. Boundaries are discussed and implemented gradually. Sudden security lockdowns happen when someone needs to urgently protect evidence that appeared recently. If her phone was casually accessible for years and suddenly isn't, something changed that required immediate protection. Real-life example. Her phone used to sit on the counter charging, notifications visible. Occasionally you'd use it to check something or change music. Now it's constantly in her hand or pocket. She takes it to the bathroom every time. It's always face down. You notice she changed the passcode and didn't tell you the new one. When a notification appears, she grabs the phone instantly, reads while angling the screen away, and often leaves the room to respond. If you casually reach for her phone, she snatches it away with surprising intensity. She might justify this with privacy talk, but privacy boundaries don't appear overnight without explanation. Security lockdowns do, when there's something urgent to hide. What to watch for? Notice if phone behaviors changed suddenly and recently. Long-term patterns are one thing. Maybe she's always been private about her phone. But dramatic, recent changes indicate something new needs protecting. Also watch for anxiety when you're near her phone, or when she can't immediately check a notification. That anxiety reveals the phone has become her primary security concern. Red flag 3, unexplained schedule changes and unaccounted time. Her schedule suddenly includes new commitments, recurring absences, or time gaps that don't quite add up. She's working late more often. She's joined a gym or class that meets regularly. She has new friend obligations that keep her away predictably. When you ask for details, answers are vague or inconsistent. She's creating structured time away from you that she's vague about because that's when she's doing whatever she's hiding. Why this signals hiding? Maintaining a significant secret, whether it's an affair, financial deception, or anything else major, requires time. That time has to come from somewhere, which means creating legitimate-seeming absences. The pattern and predictability of these absences reveal their scheduled commitments to the hidden activity, not spontaneous life changes. The psychology behind it. Scheduled concealment is easier to maintain than sporadic lies. By establishing a pattern, I have yoga every Tuesday and Thursday evening, she creates expected absence that doesn't trigger suspicion each time. The cover story provides plausible deniability and makes it harder for you to verify her whereabouts because the activity is supposedly regular and routine. The vagueness when you ask for details is the tell. Real activities generate specific stories, memorable moments, details about people or experiences. Hidden activities require staying vague because details create verification opportunities and consistency requirements that are hard to maintain over time when you're lying. Real-life example. She announces she's joined a gym and will go every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday evening. But you never see gym clothes in the laundry those specific days. She never mentions workout specifics, never talks about people at the gym, shows no physical changes despite months of supposed regular exercise. The gym is remarkably content-free in her conversation, despite being a significant time commitment. Or she's suddenly working late, every Thursday. But when you call her office, she's not there. When you mention bringing her dinner, she discourages it with excuses that don't quite make sense. Her paycheck doesn't reflect overtime. The late nights are consistent, but the explanations are vague and unverifiable. What to watch for? Notice if new commitments have surprising consistency, but remarkable lack of specific detail. Real activities generate stories, complaints, specifics. Cover stories stay vague because details are vulnerabilities. Also, watch if she's unreachable during these scheduled absences. Phone off, not responding to texts, calls going to voicemail. That strategic unavailability indicates the time is being used for something that requires her full attention elsewhere. Red flag 4, gaslighting and reality distortion. When you notice inconsistencies. When you point out inconsistencies in her stories or behavior, she doesn't clarify. She denies, distorts, or makes you question your own memory and perception. That's not what I said. You're remembering wrong. That never happened. You're being paranoid. She rewrites reality to make you doubt yourself rather than address the inconsistencies you've noticed. Why this signals hiding? Gaslighting is a deliberate manipulation tactic used when someone is caught in inconsistencies they can't explain without revealing what they're hiding. Rather than admit the lie or inconsistency, they attack your perception of reality itself. If they can make you doubt your own memory and judgment, they can continue hiding without having to maintain perfect consistency in their lies. The psychology behind it. Gaslighting serves multiple psychological purposes. It protects the secret by avoiding direct lies that could be proven false. It undermines your confidence in your own perceptions, making you less likely to trust future intuitions that something's wrong. It shifts focus from her suspicious behavior to your supposedly flawed memory or paranoid tendencies, and it creates self-doubt that makes you easier to deceive going forward. This tactic is particularly effective because people naturally doubt their memories sometimes. By exploiting that normal uncertainty and insisting your clear recollections are false, she trains you to distrust yourself more than you distrust her, which is exactly what she needs to continue hiding successfully. Real-life example. She told you she was having dinner with her sister on Tuesday. On Thursday, you mention it casually. How was dinner with your sister? She looks confused. I never said I was having dinner with my sister. You must be thinking of something else. But you distinctly remember the conversation. She insists you're misremembering, and suddenly you're questioning whether you heard her correctly. Or you notice she came home at 11 p.m. when she said she'd be back at 9. You mention it. She says, I told you I'd be back around 11. You weren't listening. She's so confident and definitive that you start doubting your own clear memory of her saying 9 p.m. That manufactured uncertainty is gaslighting, making you doubt reality so you stop noticing inconsistencies. What to watch for? Trust your memory and perceptions. When someone consistently denies things you clearly remember, or insists you're wrong about objective facts you observed, they're gaslighting you. Start documenting. Write down what she tells you, screenshot texts, keep records. When you have proof and she still denies reality, you'll know for certain she's manipulating your perception to hide something. Red flag 5, projection, accusing you of what she's actually doing. She suddenly suspects you of hiding things, being secretive, or being unfaithful, despite your behavior not changing at all. She accuses you of what she's actually guilty of herself. This projection serves to deflect suspicion from her own behavior while managing her guilt by convincing herself you're probably doing the same thing, which would make her actions less morally wrong. Why? This signals hiding. Projection is a psychological defense mechanism where people attribute their own unacceptable impulses or behaviors to others. When someone is hiding something and feeling guilty about it, they often manage that guilt by projecting it onto you. If she can convince herself you're also hiding things or being unfaithful, her own deception feels less uniquely terrible. The psychology behind it. Projection serves dual purposes when someone is concealing something. First, It's a preemptive defense. By accusing you first, if you later accuse her of the same thing, it looks like retaliation rather than legitimate concern. Second, it manages her cognitive dissonance, the psychological discomfort of maintaining behavior that contradicts her self-image. If everyone does it, if you're probably doing it too, then her behavior isn't exceptionally bad. The accusations also create smokescreens. By focusing attention on your supposed secretive behavior, she directs attention away from her actual secretive behavior. You become defensive, trying to prove you're not hiding anything, while she avoids scrutiny of the actual hiding she's doing. Real-life example. Your routine hasn't changed, but suddenly she's asking intrusive questions. Who's that woman you mentioned from work? Why didn't you text me back immediately? Where were you really? The interrogation feels like it's coming from nowhere because you've done nothing to warrant suspicion. The accusations are projections of her own guilty behavior onto you. Or she says things like, "You've been acting distant. Are you seeing someone?" When you haven't been distant at all, she's the one who's been distant because she's hiding something. She's projecting her emotional withdrawal onto you, which simultaneously explains her behavior as response to your supposed distance, and deflects attention from the real cause of distance, her secret. What to watch for? Notice if accusations appear suddenly without any change in your behavior. If she starts suspecting you of things you're not doing, especially things that mirror suspicious behaviors she's exhibiting, it's likely projection. She's revealing what she's doing by accusing you of it. The specificity of accusations often reveals the reality of what she's hiding. Red flag 6, sudden personality changes and emotional distance. She becomes a different person, more critical, more distant, less interested in your life, less affectionate. She seems checked out emotionally even when physically present. Conversations are surface level. Physical intimacy decreases dramatically. She seems distracted, preoccupied, emotionally elsewhere. These changes indicate her emotional energy is being invested elsewhere or consumed by managing the secret she's keeping. Why this signals hiding? Maintaining a significant secret requires enormous psychological energy. That energy has to come from somewhere, which usually means less energy for the relationship. Additionally, if she's hiding an affair or emotional investment in someone else, she's literally giving her emotional presence to that person or situation, leaving you with what's left, which is distant, distracted, and diminished. The psychology behind it. The emotional distance serves multiple functions. It's partly a natural result of divided attention. She can't be fully present with you while mentally managing a secret or emotionally invested elsewhere. It's partly guilt management. Being emotionally close to someone you're deceiving creates cognitive dissonance. So creating distance reduces that psychological discomfort. And it's partly preparation. If she's planning to eventually leave or reveal something that ends the relationship, emotional distancing begins the separation process while she's still physically present. The personality changes reflect the stress of deception. Living a double life or maintaining a significant secret creates anxiety, irritability, and emotional volatility. She might become more critical of you to justify her hidden behavior or to create distance that makes the deception easier to maintain. The person you knew is still there, but buried under the psychological burden of whatever she's hiding. Real-life example. She used to be warm, engaged, interested in your day and your feelings. Now she's cold and distant. When you try to connect, you hit a wall. She's physically there but emotionally absent. Conversations are superficial. When you share something important, she barely engages. The intimacy and closeness you once had has evaporated without clear explanation. Physical affection and sex have decreased dramatically or stopped. When you initiate, you're rejected with vague excuses. The rejection isn't occasional. It's consistent, creating a pattern where you've stopped trying because the answer is predictably no. Her lack of interest in physical connection indicates her energy and desire are directed elsewhere or consumed by the stress of maintaining her secret. What to watch for? Notice if the changes are sudden and significant rather than gradual relationship evolution. All relationships change over time, but when someone becomes noticeably different in personality, emotional availability, and intimacy levels over a short period, something major is happening. If that change coincides with other red flags on this list, the change reflects the psychological burden and divided attention of hiding something significant.